This is my third attempt at building a business. So why am I doing this again? Because this time I finally understand the one thing that I need to do before starting a business. This time I'm not building something that I think I should be building, but this time I'm building something that I actually need, that aligns with who I am. Come on the journey. Here are the slides and this happens. I'm printing an essay for his love. The first one, I never really made a sale. I don't really know how business works, and so after a few months I decided to pivot. Then I tried to be more logical, very logical indeed, and I pursue a business model that is the easiest to get off ground by selling your time. I did ended up reaching 10K per month, but then I started to burn out and slowly the revenue just go downhill, and I decided to shut it down because it doesn't align with who I am. This time around I want to document everything, the process behind what it takes. For me specifically, to build a business from scratch. I'll document everything very, very raw, starting at the very beginning process of what it takes to decide on a business idea, decide on a business model, and doing some research on it, pursuing it, and then obviously to launch stage, and hopefully in the long run, scaling. But before I bring you along to this new journey, let me tell you a little bit more about my background. Let me tell you some of the mistakes that I've done, the failures, just so not only you understand where I'm coming from, but hopefully it also inspires you, encourages you to still pursue the thing that you've dreamed of, to not lose hope, and to show you that anything is possible when you put your mind onto it. Now, the first business. The idea of starting a business came when I was studying abroad. I knew that I want to create something of mine. At that point, I'm living alone, I don't really have an income, and I felt guilty for always spending my parents' money. I want to have my own income. It's definitely a privilege of mine to have my parents support all of the finances, but I know that they couldn't keep it up for a long time, and I have to find my own resources at some point. And obviously I want to give back to them after taking care of me all this time. That's when the idea of starting a business came to my mind. I have applied to several jobs, part-time job, becoming like waiters, but nobody really took me in. So yeah, that first business idea came to my mind. At that time, I really love crocheting and knitting. I love fashion, and the thought of being able to make my own clothes without a sewing machine is really fascinating at that moment. So that's when I decided to learn how to crochet and make my own clothes, and it worked. So then I was like, okay, now why don't we turn this into a business? Why don't I start selling my crochet piece? Because I know that there's probably people out there who love the designs that I've made and want to also try them. So I started that without really knowing anything about how to run a business or the market size, the actual demand of purchasing it, the buyer persona who's gonna buy those type of crochet and knitting piece, because first of all, it's handmade, it's very time consuming, and second of all, yarn is quite expensive. Again, this is my first business. I don't really understand what's a target audience, so I just roll with it without having any target audience. I did make content for a few months straight. Every day I posted consistently because that's the only thing I knew how to do, is posting consistently. And I also knew about influencer marketing, so I gifted some influencers my crochet and knitting piece, and it was not cheap at all. And obviously it took a lot of time to make the garments. One clothes would minimum take 8 hours to make, and that's a minimum, so it could take more than that. And yeah, because of that I priced it quite expensive, and even then, if we break it down into an hourly wage, I'll not be profitable. I'll probably get like $10 per hour on the wage of making those garments, because I want to make it affordable for people to purchase it. But at the same time, I couldn't really sacrifice too much of the price because yarn is expensive and all of that. So yeah, I gifted a couple of influencers. The shipping is also very expensive, and again, I'm privileged enough to have my parents supply some of the investment, but yeah, it doesn't really work out. Nobody actually bought my product, and so I decided, you know what, I don't think this is gonna work out in the long term, and I just stopped continuing it. We move on to the second business model, and there's probably like almost more than 6 months of gap between this first business and the second business, because then I found a part-time job to become a baker, and I did that. But the entrepreneurial side of me decided not to continue on that part-time job. I want to create something of mine. Also, there's obviously a lot of other aspects like the financial freedom and the time freedom. I want all of that. So then I started researching on the easiest business to start with, that only requires your time and not money investment. And I stumbled across this agency model, which is basically you're starting from like a freelancer, you're helping people, and then slowly you're building an agency out of it. Now, at that point on, I thought about doing email marketing. So I helped my friend who has a clothing brand with their email marketing, and I learned a lot about emails. But then I slowly realized that email marketing market is really saturated, which that, in my opinion now, when I say it, it's definitely a limiting belief. So then I started thinking about another market that is not really as saturated as like digital marketing, and I came across an AI agency. So you're basically installing AI, because AI at that point on, I think it was early 2025, AI is really popping off and everyone is telling you to build an AI agency. So that's what I did. But I wanted to go in a niche market, so I chose Airbnb without knowing anything about Airbnb before. I took 3 months to learn about Airbnb. I just watched a bunch of YouTube videos and took on like free courses and all of that. And yeah, then I started launching my business, my agency model. Again, I started with freelancing option first. I go on Upwork, find some clients, and after I think around 3 to 4 months, then I started getting my first client. And from there, it just went uphill. I got a few clients, and because I pitched a project plan, they paid me quite a lot of money upfront. So that's when I started making real money online, and I was pretty excited, but not as excited as I think I would be, because first of all, during those 3 to 4 months of me reaching out constantly every single day, doing outreach and not getting any responses back, that quite literally hurt my ego, and I was on the verge of changing another industry. But again, at that point, I know that if I just persist a little bit longer, then I would eventually get a client, and I did. But once I work with a few clients, then I realized why there isn't any kind of like an AI agency in the Airbnb space. It's because it's very custom to every single client. Like every single client that I work with, they all have different individual separate projects, and I have to adjust whatever it is that I'm working on according to what they want me to work. It's like, again, they're hiring a freelancer. It's not scalable. I don't know how to scale this business model. And I'm also very burnt out because I'm working with multiple clients, meaning that I have to juggle multiple projects, multiple problems, and it just messes up with my brain, but also my mental health. I was working around 8 to 12 hours a day, having back-to-back meetings. I wasn't even able to spend time with my friends. Like just going out on dinner, I would feel very guilty because, again, like I felt like I need to be working. So then there came a point where I didn't get any clients. I tried to reach out to people. In my head, I thought that, I've worked with multiple clients. I've gathered their feedback, great feedback by the way, and I have testimonials. So now I can reach out to more clients. It should be easier, right? But it's not. I didn't get any clients, even after I had a video testimonial from my previous client. That's when I started rethinking everything. Is this even worth it? I spent too much time working on this. I was very stressed. I'm basically burnt out. I don't know if this is the right thing for me to do in the long run. And I don't want to waste my time doing something that's not going to be sustainable. So it took me quite a few months to find new clients. Didn't get one even after running paid ads, all of it. And I took it as a sign that, maybe I should slow down, rest, find something else, find something that I truly enjoy. Because again, as I've mentioned in the beginning, I chose Airbnb and this agency model because it seems the most logical for me to start, but I didn't have any interest in all of them. So even though I'm getting all the money that I want, even though I'm getting all the clients that I want, I don't feel fulfilled at all. I dreaded waking up working on my business every single day because it doesn't align with who I am. There's nothing that I enjoy about working in that business. That's also the biggest reason why I started to, rethink my decision and stop this business and pursue on this next business. Now, this third business is probably the business that I felt most confident with, and I think I'm already in the right mind to start a new business correctly. And again, most of it is because I now understand myself more, and I know what I enjoy doing, what I call a soul business, a business that you build from your passion, from your soul, that aligns with who you are and who you want to be, not just a business that seems logical to you. So I think this will be a very fun journey, and yeah, everything about it felt really right. But again, most of it is also influenced by knowledge of spirituality, just learning more about myself, learning how to shift internally and focus on your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindset. Focus on your inner work first before the outer work. And so again, this is why I want to document everything, because I truly believe that this moment on is where I will find the joy in building my business and can actually call my business my baby. Like, it is very important for you to be resilient, to be consistent, to be disciplined when you're working on your business, when you're an entrepreneur. And if you don't have all of that, if you don't have passion, if you don't know what you want, if you don't know who you want to become, all of those things, it is going to be very hard for you to stick through the hardships of your business, through the darkest, most stressed days of your business. It is going to be very hard. So yeah, because of this, the first thing that I do before I started thinking of the business idea, of the market dynamic, of the buyer persona, before all of that, I took some days to really sit with my thoughts and be really honest with what kind of business do I want to build and what will sustain me in the long run. It's not going to be forever, at least it's going to be for a few years, because I know that, in a few years my opinions might change, but at least the desires that I have, the new identity that I want to build for myself, at least that's still going to be quite similar for a certain period of time. So that's what I did. I used a lot of prompts, self-reflection prompts, also working on my limiting beliefs, the new beliefs that I want to install within myself, and then also again, like, just figuring out the lifestyle that I want to have in the future. My energy list, which is just things that fascinates you. What are the things that you like, you love, that you find beautiful, all of the things that brings you high vibrational energy. Now, after that, I know that this planning process should be meticulous, but not so that you have to make it perfect. So I want to set a deadline for myself to at least just launch my first MVP product in 2 months. I want to launch this MVP product quick so that I can get the feedback and I then know what to do, what to fix, essentially. So the second thing that I did is I went on YouTube. I know that we are living in a digital era now where there's so much option for you to choose from. It can create a decision paralysis. There's too many things that you can do at once. You can choose this business model, you can choose that business model. Because of that, I decided to just choose a couple of mentors, someone that actually I look up to and I can learn from. And I stumbled across Grace Beverly's course, immediately purchased that, and now I'm just using her course to build my business. So far it has been amazing. Her lessons, it's accumulated from 3 of her businesses and many years of her experience, starting off with solidifying what product I actually want to build and what brand do I actually want to build. Now, the brand should be flexible enough for me to not just sell one product or this hero product I'm selling now, but I'm also able to sell a different type of product in the future, but for a similar target audience or for a similar market. Now, before I stumbled across Grace Beverly's course, I intended on just focusing on my personal brand and probably just selling from there, like building on YouTube first, and if people are interested, then I'm gonna build like a small product without doing any research. And I did already made that product, which I'll insert a clip after this of me doing an unboxing of the second run of the prints. But yeah, then I stumbled across Grace Beverly's course, and boy, do I need to do a lot of research first before I can actually make a good product. The product that is meant for my target audience, the product that is made for the market, that solves a gap in the market. We're gonna get crafty here. Oh my god, I feel like a YouTuber, a proper YouTuber now. Anyways, what I have here is a journal that I designed myself, and oh my god, is this thick. I forgot how many pages the photo. Oh, it is one-sided. That's a lesson learned. Because when I was printing this, I wondered, why is it so expensive? This is the second round of journal that I printed. The first version ended up being good. The paper quality, everything, the printing quality is all good, but the design is really off. The fonts are too big, way too big for the size. So I wanted to print it again. I wanted to redesign it again to make sure that the font is proper for the size of the paper. Then I wonder, why is it double the price when I'm printing kind of like the similar amount of page? And this is the reason why. Oh my god, it is one-sided, and I understand that a part of it is my fault for not confirming with Printer Studio to print it double-sided, but it's also kind of their fault because they didn't confirm with me. Nah, I'm just blaming it at them at this point. It should have been my fault because I didn't double check. But anyways, I am gonna show you the result. Now, the paper is kind of thick, okay, and there is a blank page. This person who's printing this clearly, oh my god, okay, I'm gonna stop putting the blame onto them, but this is pretty obvious how I designed it to be, two-sided, and I didn't know what to do with, because I was supposed to make this as a binder, right? The idea is so that I can add more paper in between if I need to write more stuff. The problem that I have with just normal journal, the book journal, is that if you run out of space, that's it. Like, you're gonna either have to put a sticky note on it, you're gonna have to write it really small and then make the layout very ugly, which I don't really want. I'm not saying that I disagree completely with those kind of journal. If you like those kind of journal, keep it up. Good. Like, the good journals are good for a reason. But I wanted to try something else, and I wanted to see if there's a possibility for me to make a journal but inside a binder. So you can take it off, you can put more papers if you need to fill in more information. If you have like more thoughts than normal, you can just slap another paper onto there and print it. I also haven't explained what this thing is here. This is basically the hole puncher for the binder. Now, my designs are pretty much, it should be double-sided. So one side should be bigger than the other side, so that when you punch it, it's not, it's not cropped. And if they do it one page like this, I don't know where to, cut it. Because then it will be like this. It will be like two papers stuck together, which is gonna be a bit ridiculous, but I don't know. Anyways, we can try it. And the other issue that I'm having is, apparently I requested color for all of this, but I didn't really see any color. It is supposed to be I'm gonna show you the design here, the actual design in the screen. It is supposed to be yellowish paper, because the first round of the print that I did, let me actually show you. It is here. Now, it is actually really good, right? But the problem also is that, okay, you can see the writing is really big, but the paper is also very thin and very wide. I don't like papers that are too wide because it's not aesthetic. I want aesthetic things. So yeah, yellow just looks better overall. And if you compare it side by side, I guess, I don't know if you can see it from the screen. Let me see. The color is a bit different. Yeah, I can see it's a bit different, but it's not that big of a difference. And I did pay for this paper to be full on color, so I have to pay like double the price, but it clearly is not worth half the price. So I need to fix that and maybe have a workaround on that. Now, this part is really good. Okay, I didn't reprint this because I'm already settled with it, and this is my original painting. Also, another problem that came after I printed this is the fact that how I designed this journal originally was it to be like a pretty simple journal, because I want it to be free-flowing. Just like the purpose of a binder is for you to have freedom in writing as much as you want to, I want the template inside these journals to also reflect that. That means that I am not designing too much, so I didn't put too much layout to the point where you're restricted to how much you can actually write inside one paper. But then one thing came across me is that you're probably wondering, like, why am I making an essay? Why am I printing an essay on a journal? And to be honest, I don't really know also. And this is also one of my fault, because I didn't really do a lot of research on it. I just thought that, before using this journal, I want the user to at least understand what I'm trying to convey here with the journal, what I'm trying to create here with the journal, how you can use your journal, and how it can help you, because this is a review journal. So you basically just put all of the reviews about the media that you consume, anything that you consume, or it can also be a trip review. So this is kind of, as I've mentioned it, this is a review journal. So I want the consumer of this journal to at least understand better what is the purpose of this journal, and also help them a little bit more so that they can navigate better with this journal. But yeah, apparently I could have designed it better, and instead of writing a long ass essay, I think this is about like 5-6 pages long, double-sided by the way, so that in total like 10 pages I think. Instead of that, I should have like make it a little bit more digestive, is that the word, like easy to digest, by spreading the pieces of information here and there and make it a little bit more fun. So for example, okay, hold on a second, there is no color in this thing. Anyways, for example, we have here the monthly favorites, so you can write your monthly favorites. I should have written like a prompt beside it and write a short paragraph of essay to help you better understand what are your monthly favorites, like maybe give you prompts on how to decide on your monthly favorites. There is a lot of creativity that I can pour into this, but instead, because I'm set on making it simple, I made it too simple. So I think that's also the downside of this design. I am gonna redesign it again, and I'm surely gonna put more effort and time and attention to detail on this. But yeah, so I'm gonna show you an example of how this machine works. And I just bought it online. I'm pretty sure you can find it online, so just search for a finder hole puncher, or maybe a 30 holes punch would be a better name. I'm gonna use this piece of paper. I'm just gonna stick it inside, and the size of this paper is B5, so I'm just gonna align it over here with the B5 so that you know it's in the middle. You're not putting it like a little bit sideways like this, otherwise the hole is just gonna be lopsided. Now the fun part is actually punching the hole. It is very, very simple. See this here? You just slide it across here. So it is a bit hard. Oof. Okay, and just like that. Oops, I think I did not really put it in the middle, and you can see there. That's why you need to be really careful and put it in here, or maybe have someone help you press the paper when you're sliding it, because I think the problem also sometimes is the paper kind of slides when you're sliding it together. So like when you slide it there, it also slides, and this happened. But yeah, overall this is really great, right? So you can make your own binder at home, and that's why I also did the digital version, hoping that in the future I could sell the digital version. And if one of you guys don't want to purchase the whole binder, you can make it at home. You can just print it at home, buy this thing. This is such an investment for me, at least. If you really like using a binder, I think this will also be such a great investment for you, because then you can just buy blank paper and punch a hole, and then you can make a binder. So yeah, that's how this works. Let's unbox something exciting with me. I definitely felt an imposter syndrome because I've never done videos like this before, an unboxing video on top of that. But nonetheless, we are here to unbox something really exciting, which is a notepad that I designed myself, and I have it printed. So the reason why I started designing my own notepad is because one, I just want to design my own notepad, since I want something that resembles me, and what better way to customize it by making my own, and I have the resources to make one. On top of that, I want to start writing more, and I always used to write my to-do list on my laptop on Notion, but nowadays I feel like actually writing it in a notepad and having a to-do list every day that you can see physically and not ticking the box by just clicking on a button, and I feel like that will be much more satisfying than just ticking on a screen again. As expected, it is not as easy as it seemed. Unbox something, I can't really make it aesthetic, but anyways, here we are. Oh my god, I can see it a little bit, but hold on one second, I need a scissor. I dropped it, oh my god. But anyways, here is the design. Wait. Oh my god, it is actually so cute. Oh my god, I'm a little bit biased because this is my design, so obviously I like it, but we need better lighting. 1 second, I don't have a bead. I'm sorry guys, the lighting isn't all that good. I'll insert a clip of the actual design, but oh my god, wait, can you actually? It is so cute. It is so dang cute, and it's not a sticky note, okay? So you can just look what I've just done. That peeled off way easier than I thought. But one thing though is, this is a very minor detail, but I would like it to now it flips like this, right? But I guess it doesn't really matter because you're gonna take it off anyway. I'd rather for it to be this side. I don't really know why, I just prefer it that way. I think because you're facing the rabbit. So this is that. I am happy. So yeah, this first episode of me documenting this journey is kind of like an introduction episode where I'm just telling you a little bit more about my background and what I'm planning to build. But in the next few episodes, I will promise you I'll show more of the behind the scenes. Now it's just more of doing just boring researches using AI and looking at competitors' website, all of that. So there isn't really much to talk about. But if you want me to go deeper into what I actually research on, the market dynamics that I research on, obviously I'm not gonna spill all of the insights inside the Grace Beverly's course. But I think after building 2 businesses, one legit one, I kind of understand what I need to do before launching the business and what I need to make sure I have settled in place. So again, if you are interested in that, I'll dive deeper. But for now, this is all I have. Otherwise, this video is gonna be an hour long. Stay tuned for the next episode. If you're interested in helping me create this first MVP product, this is for you guys who wants to bridge the gap between inner work and outer work. I'm creating a Notion OS, but it's not just any ordinary Notion productivity OS. Like, there's a bunch of productivity templates out there already. So what I'm planning to do is bringing inner work to Notion also, because I find myself struggling with maintaining this new identity, with maintaining the new beliefs that I set for myself. All of it requires accountability and maintaining this new higher frequency of yours. It's not easy. You will fumble back to your old self. You're trying to become this new self and you're doing all the things that will help you to get there. But if you're not maintaining it every day, if you're not keeping yourself accountable, if you're not reminding yourself of that new version of yourself, you're gonna fumble back. So that's what I'm planning to do, is when you're building a business or you just have a busy life, you have things to do, but you also want to manage your inner self, your inner work, I want to build something that can bridge the gap between that will help you with your inner work and also outer work, which is your task, all of the productivity method out there, and become the best version of yourself. So again, if you're interested in helping me with this project, there's a link below where you can answer questions from my feedback form. It will probably take you around 2 to 3 minutes, not long, but it will definitely help me build this product so that it's not only good for me, but it will help you guys too. And yeah, other than that, I will see you in the next episode documenting this journey together. See you around.